And we are back, and we just finished watching 2016's The Nice Guys, rated R, with a runtime of 1 hour and 56 minutes. This is currently streaming on Netflix and is written by Anthony Bagarozzi and Shane Black, with directing credits to Shane Black. This stars Ryan Gosling as Holland March, a sort of bumbling detective who would probably be a lot better if he stayed off the hooch, right?
Yeah, I think he's dealing with depression. He's dealing with too much drinking. He lost his wife, his home. I believe he blames himself for it. And
all while trying to parent.
All while trying to parent a young girl. And he's amazing in this.
He is fantastic in this. I would love to see Ryan Gosling in more comedies. I feel like he does mostly dramatic stuff. Oh no, he mixes it up actually.
Yeah, he mixes action. He mixes it up. Yeah. I would like to see Holland March return.
And Jackson Healy.
The
lovely Russell Crowe.
Goddamn, please.
Yeah.
I don't care if this film didn't do well in the theater. This film needs a sequel.
It really does. The interplay between the characters is amazing. It's amazing. And it's funny because from where it starts to where it ends, the friendship that develops is absolutely earned.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
100%.
I mean, the way they meet and everything is just spot on perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. The dialogue is just sharp as
tacks.
Yeah.
Sharp as a, what was it in Double Indemnity? Sharp like as a car full of monkeys or something? What was that line? I forget.
I think that was crazier than car full of monkeys or something like that. But yeah, all the dialogue's good. All the characters are great. Holly's great, played by that girl who's apparently immortal because she looked exactly the same in Spider-Man.
Oh, the girl who's Holly.
Yeah, Holly.
Yes, played by... Angourie Rice. Angourie Rice, yeah.
That's it, yeah.
I didn't know that was her name. You know who she sort of reminds me of? What was her name? Alison Pill. She was the blonde in the newsroom. You know who I'm talking about.
The one you hate?
Yeah.
No, well...
There's something
They're both
similar.
Blonde. Well,
there's something similar about them. But anyway.
I don't see
Matt Bomer, who's John Boy. Oof, crazy.
John Boy.
He's so funny because he's so goofy in those Magic Mike movies, but he is terrifying in this.
I've never seen that. The only other experience I have with him is what the hell is that? Doom Patrol.
Oh yeah. He's great in that.
Yeah.
I love him in that. He's the bandaged up
guy.
Invisible guy.
Yeah, most of it's just his voice. He should do voice acting if he hasn't.
And the lovely Keith David.
Oh, yeah, Keith David. I don't know who the Blueface guy was, but God, I wanted him to die so bad.
Bo Knapp. I don't know
he
who
did
that
a great,
is.
He did a great job. He just looked like this,
He sort of reminded me of Sacha Baron Cohen for some reason.
I could see that.
Yeah.
The same head shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. But everybody was good. Even
Yaya DaCosta, who was
the object of Holland's affection.
Callie, who was a contestant on America's Next Top Model. She was one of the ones that I wanted to win that didn't win.
You remember that show?
Way too much, probably. Well, the first couple of seasons, because then I stopped watching it. But the first 4 or 5 seasons of that show are ingrained in my brain. Yeah. It's outrageous. Anyway, so let's get into it. What'd you think?
I love the hell out of this movie.
There's nothing not to love about this movie.
Exactly. This film is so damn good. I love that they set it in that time.
Yeah.
I love that it's a detective and just this basically like a guy who you pay to beat people up.
Yeah, Jackson. Yeah.
Jackson, the way they connect, how they end up working together, the dialogue between the two, the interplay between Holland and Holly and Jackson and Holly.
Yeah. She holds her own with them. She's really good.
Yeah, she is not a sub character. She is a third part. She is part of that trio.
Yeah.
And it's just great, and just like the crazy mystery that they go through.
Yeah.
This labyrinth of weird deceptions and possibilities and twists and turns. Everybody's just getting killed left and right.
Yeah. And then when you get to the end, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And then they like just chuck like a couple like the dream sequence. like that was just like, what is going on? And then it comes, you get like a little bit of a callback to it later on where it's just like, where's the angle gun? That is hilarious. He is like, seriously, Holland is a wreck. He is just such a wreck.
Such a good character, though.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling is outstanding in this. Mm-hmm. He is outstanding in this.
It's probably like
my favorite
role of his that I've ever seen him do.
I mean, I think he's a solid guy. Did we see Drive together, you and I?
I think we did, yeah.
I liked him in that. I didn't like him in the alleged sequel to that. Somebody said that was the sequel, the one that we saw.
One that took place in the Philippines?
Yeah, or Thailand or whatever.
I don't think there was any connection between those two movies.
God, that was awful. That was shite.
Yeah.
I mean, he was good in it, but it was just the story itself just was so convoluted and ridiculous.
Maybe people think it was the same story because
same director.
He was, I don't know if it was the same director, but he was sort of playing, he had like the same emotional range between those two films. Like it was just like, I don't know if he was like sad guy, just like staring wistfully in front of him as stuff goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it was like the same. You could feel that was like sort of the same, but I don't think it was the same character or anything like that.
But getting back to this was the bee's knees, as they say.
Killer bees.
Yes.
Which the interesting that they call back to that, because I remember as a kid, tons of stories about freaking killer bees are coming. It was like, what the hell? Like, what was going on? Do we always have to have something to panic about?
Yes,
it's absolutely. Like back in the day, it was killer bees. Now it's like immigrants or something like that.
They're infiltrating the borders.
Yeah, trans people, trans immigrants. Yeah, that's next. Trans immigrants.
What is it? They're trying to. Oh, what's the word?
Groom?
Yes, that's it. I was gonna say. I was like, what's that? What's that word?
The grooming is coming.
The grooming is coming.
They're grooming us with our own beer. I can't drink beer in front of my kids without them turning gay.
Yeah. Oh God. What a world. What a stupid time to be alive.
I wish we could just go back to killer bees.
Yes. Life was so much simpler back then.
Yeah.
And I love how everything in this, I mean, the story is just all over the place, right? But it still ties up so nicely.
Well, I wouldn't say it's all over the place. It's just it's like a very windy path through this like really seedy world, because you're dealing with like the world of pornography. Even though, like, I guess back then, like, I mean, porno has always been porno, but they would actually show that crap in like theaters and have like wide releases.
Yeah.
So that was like a big. I would probably say a bigger industry than it is. I mean, it's still a huge industry now, but now it's just sort of like anybody consume, with a webcam and an OnlyFans account or something like that, and
an internet connection,
you could do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was like you had to go to those theaters.
The thing that always used to burn me was like, it was like 25 cents, and I'm like, I'm paying $5 to go see The Last Dragon at the Alpine, and it's like, why the fuck is pornography only 25 cents?
Well, you got to go inside the porno theater and you get to share the ambiance. I mean, seriously,
sticky floors.
Yeah, and that wasn't from soda. That wasn't Milk Duds and soda on the floor. That was, but you have the other patient. Like, who the hell goes and watched it? I sat through the whole the story was quite interesting. Although in this, the one of the funniest lines is Holland March going, "Oh, so you made a porno where the point was the plot?"
And he was, when he asked Kim Basinger's character, like, which porn, like, what do you like? And
He's like, what's your favorite?
What's your favorite?
Oh my God, he was some mess.
So good though,
And
so
like
good.
she could, there's like little subtle things where she could tell that he's drunk.
Yeah.
Because she's like, "Would you like a mint?" And Russell Crowe's just like, "Yeah, he wants mints," and he just hands him some.
Yeah, they were both outstanding, but definitely Ryan Gosling. Whoops. Was really, really outstanding. But let's talk about Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe is amazing too. And it's funny because this was probably like maybe one of the first times you see him as
After so long.
after a while, and he is just like, he's not
Maximus.
Okay. He hasn't
Those
been
days
like,
are done.
yes, he hasn't been maintaining this chiseled physique through brutal combat or anything like that. he's a big guy. He's got a belly.
He wears like the readers.
He wears the readers. He's disheveled. He lives above a comedy club.
Yeah.
In this weird little apartment. He buys a giant case of Yoo-Hoo.
There's a reason why he looks like he does.
He's got a Yoo-Hoo belly.
And he's very anti-marriage, apparently.
Yeah. Well, he definitely got stung there.
Yeah.
But he is just amazing. He plays the part, and like that.
He is the straight man.
He is the straight man, and that's like physicality fits the character perfectly. You don't want him to be that chiseled muscle action hero guy. Mm-hmm. He is just a rough brawler type
guy,
and he's got like like you said, he's the straight man, but he's able to hit back with some good lines.
Yes. He's
got an interesting little backstory.
Yes.
Which Ryan Gosling sleeps through. It's funny that he really forms an attachment to Holly.
Yes.
Yes. I guess maybe if he had a daughter, he'd like her to be like her because
yeah.
You know,
Holly's a pretty awesome kid.
Holly, yeah, she's like fearless.
Yeah. Very smart.
A little bit too willful, and especially coming along to that party. Which she had no business.
And it's so funny because he's like putting her in a cab to telling her to go home, and it's like, she's gonna wind up back in this place, and lo and behold,
there she is,
watching a movie that she shouldn't be watching,
and stuff.
Yeah, really, really great performances. Just top to bottom, and I agree with you. Like I think I've mentioned this to you in the past that there are certain writers that have a knack for like the linguistics of men and women, and I'm always impressed when I hear that kind of dialogue. Mm-hmm. And this dialogue definitely is firing on all cylinders as far as that goes. I feel like, I can't say for later seasons, but like the first couple of seasons when you and I watched Supernatural, like I would sit there just jealous of the writing on that show, because I was like, this is like, whoever wrote this has such a good ear to pick up the dynamics of how men talk to each other. Because when you're hanging out with your buds, your bros, there's like certain like grammatical patterns and syncopations that you go through that you don't in other instances, and I feel like this movie captures that too. Like it's so in sync with how friends talk to each other.
Yeah.
And as the story progresses and Holland and Jackson's relationship strengthens, you see that more and more.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Yeah. I mean, it's Shane Black. He's a good writer. He's always excelled at that. I mean, I think before this was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang,
which was also another fantastic
amazing,
movie.
Great dialogue.
Yeah,
another
great interplay between
crazy
the two
detective story. You could see them in the same universe, just different decades.
Yeah, Yeah, or locations.
I think they both took place in L.A., didn't they?
I think for the most part, but then at the end of Kiss Kiss Bang, aren't they somewhere else?
They visited the Midwest at the end.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah,
okay.
But I think the entire film took place in L.A.
Okay.
Yeah, just the seedy L.A. Hollywood scene.
Yeah.
That's what they both have in. I guess that's what they both have in common.
I mean, honestly, I am a New Yorker by birth and heritage, I guess, but there is something also magical about LA. And sometimes, I've talked about in the past, like how New York is sort of its own character in certain movies and certain stories. I think too, LA, just the mystique of LA, the beauty of LA, like some of the aerial shots, not aerial, but like some of the shots of the surrounding areas, and you see like the buildings and stuff, and it's very Los Angeles.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you see
you're
the
right.
Comedy Store, and
some cities, they do have like a personality. Like
yes,
New York, LA, Chicago, Boston,
Philadelphia, definitely.
They all have like a vibe.
Yes,
that's unique to them.
Absolutely. And I think that it's interesting when it's captured on film. I think LA more so because of the history, not only of just like the film industry in LA, but just it's a big city. It's a big hub of people and stuff. I'm sure there's many stories in the city, so it's nice to see it. We seen Double Indemnity, getting back to that one not too long ago, and that also takes place in LA. And it's funny because it's like you see the LA of the 1940s as opposed to, well, this is supposed to be allegedly LA from 77, I think, right? So
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see the progression of the city. It's funny, I was going through a 70s kick not too long ago. I think I was watching a whole bunch of Roy Scheider movies. And it's interesting to see like the backdrop of neighborhoods in those movies, like in French Connection, right? Yeah. You see what Brooklyn used to look like. And it's funny because if you look at those same areas now, they're wildly different.
Oh, God.
Wildly different.
Yeah. Everything looks so run down and sleazy.
Sleazy and dirty and just
garbage cans everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah. And I love your description of 70s movies.
Yeah, for some reason they just have this sheen on them that looks like they've been stored in a bucket of urine.
Yes, and yeah, kind of, yeah. It's funny.
It's like, probably I think it's probably just like the film grain. It just
or the stock. Yeah, it's funny though because I feel like when you watch, for the most part, not always, like you couldn't tell with like the first Alien movie, but for a lot of the movies of the 70s, you can tell that they were made in the 70s. It's just like I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, that was filmed in the 70s.
Especially, I mean, I would say it's more, you notice it more on films that are like shot outside, like a lot of those outdoor scenes, I don't know why, but they just, I mean, I guess those types of films were, I don't know, maybe they were using cheaper film stock, but like something on Alien is kind of like an anomaly.
It is.
It's pristine looking. I mean, I'm sure it's been given the love. It's been given the love and given the treatment. But even back in the day, I remember the way it was lit and the way everything looked. It just looked more pristine. And there were other films like the big widescreen deals where not spaceships and whatnot, but like the one, there are certain films that did get that high quality treatment. But I would probably say the majority of the films out there, it was some pretty grainy film stock and
crappy like special effects,
strange lighting and stuff like that. We were old. We were forgiving of
all that stuff. Of course. I mean, like we're talking about
that was the best stuff there was. So, what were we complaining about?
I mean, did that come out in the 70s or was that early 80s? The Clash of the Titans movie with Harry Hamlin?
Oh, that was...
Maybe that was early 80s.
Maybe that was early 80s.
Yeah, but still, it's like, you watch that now and it's like, I was entertained by this? Jesus, this looks so terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
That didn't age well. And I loved the crap out of it. I remember seeing that in the theater, and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing.
And isn't it really long?
Is it? I don't remember. You know what I want to see?
What?
The black hole.
You know, I wouldn't mind revisiting it. I remember enjoying it as a kid up until the end, and just like the end just left me completely baffled. It was like suddenly it's almost like they were going through a ride, like it was like a really bad version of It's a Small World, and they were just like, oh look, there's the doctor trapped inside Maximilian, and there's all these people tormented in hell.
Well, that was another thing. As I was watching it, I never I never got any of the symbolism. I was just watching it and just enjoying what I was watching. But apparently there's more hidden meanings to like a lot of like stuff that I've read. It like points a lot to religion, and I'm like,
maybe
really?
there was that we would pick up now as adults, because for me, I was just a little kid and I was like, oh, those little floaty robots. I wish I had a little floaty robot.
Yeah.
And that's all I really cared about.
And the big red, what was it? Maximilian. Yeah.
He was
so cool.
Just floating around he had like 1,000,000 blades just spinning on his body.
That was amazing. That was amazing. That was a Disney movie too.
Yeah.
It's pretty dark for a Disney movie.
For a Disney movie,
yeah. But again, let's rein it back in. So The Nice Guys, 1 to 10.
The Nice Guys, I'll do the same for the rate. It's 9.999. This is
what's
excellent.
So funny? I was gonna say, I don't know that it's a perfect film, but it's damn near it. I'm gonna give this a 9.5.
Yeah, this is. If you haven't seen this movie, you need to see this movie. You are missing
ASAP.
out. Great performances, great script, great story, nicely shot.
And the story moves quickly.
It's not
a short film, but it goes by quick.
You get taken for a ride, and you don't know what's going to happen, because there is some weird stuff going on where you think, oh, they're going to, all right, let's get back onto the template, and let's save the day.
Yeah.
And you're just, it's like, wait, what? That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
This is not the way the story is supposed to go.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, it didn't go that way, but now we're taking you on this new turn.
Yeah.
And it's just as entertaining as all the other turns. You're not bored. It's absolutely not formulaic.
No.
This is brilliant. This is a great detective story. It goes up there with anything you've seen as far as detective stories go. And it's funny as hell.
Yeah.
There are so many laugh out loud moments in this movie.
Yeah.
Give me the gun. Like,
he's so stupid. Oh my God.
When he meets him in the bathroom. Seriously, that's some great comedic timing by Gosling. And also, it's funny that when they find Sid, he like pulls off like the sort of Jackie Gleason little homages to that, which kind of makes sense given it was the 70s. And honestly, in the 70s, there's nothing to watch on TV.
Yeah.
You had like 4 or 5 channels.
That was
and
it.
Channel 11.
Always play the Honeymooners.
The Honeymooners. Yeah. Constantly. You saw a lot of Jackie Gleason in the 70s.
Exactly. There was no streaming.
There's no streaming.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? Look, I can't think of anything. Yeah, I agree with you. I think if you haven't seen it, absolutely do yourself a favor and check out The Nice Guys from 2016, rated R for a reason. There's strong language. There's
a lot of nudity, some
very raunchy
film
situations.
Footage.
Yeah. So this is not for kids, although we did see it with our eldest. And she enjoyed it a lot. She thought it was really funny, although she was upset with Holly at the end.
Our child doesn't have as sweet a heart as Holly's.
Yeah, no. Yeah, she was very irate that Holly was making all these dumb mistakes. But yeah, I mean, I think all in all, just really strong performances, a really fantastic script, and I agree with you. I would love to see Jackson and Holland come back. I think, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Knives Out. I think Benoit Blanc is such a great character, but these two guys, I don't know. They're really, really good. And it would be nice to see them. It's 1977 when this film starts. It would be nice to see them through the decades, kind of as like shepherds of the time, maybe in the 80s, something in the 80s, early 80s, late 80s into the 90s. I would love for Shane Black to come back to this well.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yep, I agree 100%.
All right, so that's it from us. Again, if you haven't seen it, go check out The Nice Guys from 2016, rated R, with a runtime of 1 hour and 56 minutes. It is currently streaming on Netflix. Not sure when it's going to be taken off the platform, so go, run and watch it now. And that's it from us, and we will bid you all a
good night.
Good night.